Cosby was like, you see, when I worked for Cosby, by the way, I worked for Cosby for 6 months. I was audience coordinator for his second sitcom on CBS.
Okay.
And so I was there when his son was killed.
Okay.
I was there. I lived in Queens, and it was Kaufman Astoria Studios where they shot. It's right next door to Sesame Street.
Okay.
You remember that famous song? Can you tell me how to get?
Yes.
How to get to Sesame Street. Just to see Shannon Sharpe know Sesame Street.
I do.
Right? You would think a big
Everybody
guy
grew
like
up
him.
on Sesame
Of course,
Street.
of course. I could just see you singing. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Come and
Come sing it. I want to see a big dude sing it.
come and play.
Everything's A-okay. I love Sesame Street, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Sesame Street's my favorite. My grandmother said,
What'd you say?
if you don't know how to get to Sesame Street, I'm gonna show your ass. No, but so when I was there, I remember to watch Cosby every Thursday, like to do the sitcom with Dougie Doug, Madeline Kahn. I was there. I would introduce Felicia Rashad. I was the audience coordinator.
Right.
But I had to tell jokes to 250 people
Right.
for 8 hours.
Right.
8 hours, I'm just talking. I had to be clean, no singing, no nothing. You ask a question, but you gotta keep joking.
Right.
When the lights come on, you show them, talk. Oh man. And I remember one day, I walked into Cosby's office because you could just walk in and say, what's up? So I was like, hey, Dr. Cosby, how you doing? You know, he's like, hey, and he had the cigar. I'm not bullshitting you. It was the Cosby-esque. And he goes, hey, how you doing, man? You know. And I said, hey, could you give me some advice? I'm doing comedy 4 years. I said, can you give me some advice on, on comedy? I didn't know what to say to him. He goes, and I'm not bull. He goes, writing. You got to write, son. You got to put it on the paper. Writing is the backbone. Oh, and that's him. And you got to see, and Sinbad, boy, that's the bad. He loves Sinbad. First of all, Sinbad is recovering.
Yeah, I tell you.
Sinbad's recovering.
Yeah.
And I hope you can get him on here.
Yes.
Because we cannot forget Sinbad. Sinbad is like, for real, like one of the greatest comedians that we tend to ignore.
Right.
One of the greatest, some of the greatest HBO specials. Sinbad, thank you he's recovering, he's getting better, he's speaking well. But that's how I imitated people. If I'm around you long enough,
right,
I can start doing you.
Right.
Like, one of my comic colleagues that I started imitating was Dion Cole.
Really?
Dion Cole, when we were in Chicago, he'd be like, yo, man, you sound just like me. I would do Dion, yo, you ever understand, man, how you do that shit? So I started imitating my friends, so I could just, if I hear it and it's in my range, I go, I think I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where,
The Trump sneakers. Trump is selling sneakers. You get a pair?
Black people love sneakers. And let me tell you something. I released it because I'm a genius. I released it during Black History Month. Perfect month for black people. I didn't get the sneakers, but they weren't that bad looking. I ain't gonna front.
Right.
They just painted them. They were just simple. I've had sneakers like that, but they just painted them as Trump pushing them. I don't even think they're made. I think they're pre-ordered. I don't think they're even completed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's bullshit. Did you get some?
No, I did not.
Better than your sneakers, Shasha. Way better. My first time on stage, it was impersonations. It was a duo thing, so he played like a hypnotist, and it was some corny shit, but he would hypnotize me and shit. He's like, oh, I'm a hypnotist. I'm going to make you do different people. So my first was Bill Cosby.
Okay.
And I know now Cosby is kind of a taboo, but fuck it. Let's go for it. So I'd be like, you see, the people, and you got to understand,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so I did Cosby. Then I did Johnny Carson.
Okay.
Because I said, nobody's seen a black dude do Johnny Carson. So I would go, wow, good stuff. I did not know that.
Right.
Wow. Shannon, this is a great show. Wow. Bomb. I would do that. So it was Ali. Those were my first impersonations, but I didn't dwell on impersonations, because if you depend on the impersonations, your act gets corny.
Right.
So, and I made sure when I was doing comedy in Chicago, I did it for about 3 years, and I went solo. And you know what's so funny? The person who told me to leave my comedy team was Steve Harvey.
The guy, So was that before? Before he told? Were you impersonating him before or after he told?
I was impersonating Steve only like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
I never impersonated him. I wasn't interested, or, you know, but he told me, because one day there was a club called All Jokes Aside in Chicago.
Okay.
It was the #1 black comedy club for 7 years. Shout out to Raymond Lambert, Mary Lindsay, and James Alexander. It was the #1 club in Chicago. Because a lot of times when you would do black urban rooms, it would be a black night at a white establishment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but Chicago was a black comedy club in the 90s that was open 7 days a week. All right. And so from there, I went solo. I broke up with the guy that I was with. I wanted to go solo. So
how difficult was that? Because I'm sure you guys had been together for what, 3, 4, 5 years?
About 2 years.
About 2 years,
About 2 strong years, you know, and I was a little, because I don't think he was as passionate as I was in it. I was writing most of the sketches, and then I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go solo. So I started writing shit on the side, like just in case this doesn't go well, I'm gonna do shit on my own.
Right.
So I started writing stuff on my own, and it was kind of easy to keep it moving. Because, you know what I'm saying? I just started doing shit on my own. I didn't even really tell him. I just started going on my own.
What comedian you say has helped you the most, that's given you the best advice?
Ooh, Bill Cosby, Jerry Seinfeld, and who else? Who else has given me good advice? Joan Rivers gave me some too.
You didn't take all the Cosby advice, did you?
I did. Well, not. You got to put the pill in the drink, and you got to stir it while she's not looking. You go, look over there. No, he told me writing is the key. And he says, son, I want you to see the word. See, show business. What is the bigger word? Always remember, business. You got to have the business. I took that. I took the Seinfeld. That was important.
Spoke to Joan Rivers, said she gave
Joan Rivers just keep, I love your honesty. Oh, just keep doing it. You're so funny. You're so talented. It was in Montreal, man. I got to meet her, man. It was crazy because she wanted to meet me.
Is that the big show up in Montreal where all the comedians go?
Yeah, they just X that. It's done.
Oh, it's done.
Bankruptcy, all that shit. Done. No more Montreal. Oh. And that was the biggest one in the world.
Yes. And because Lorel told us about that the comedians go there and then they have big
people come, watch different comedians and all this other shit, shatter some dreams, you know, shit like that.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. It's done. They got maybe Melbourne Comedy Festival, but they got other little festivals, but Montreal was like the main, but that shit's gone. But that's the advice I took. And, you know, Tony Woods gave me advice. Tony Woods, like regular dudes have, but those were the main ones that gave me advice on stuff, you know?
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before 2 something.